Ashley and Ethan's relationship began like any other college romance. They met in their junior year, bonding over late-night snacks and study sessions. Ethan, with his charming smile and effortless charm, swept Ashley off her feet. Ashley, with her quirky sense of humor and creative spirit, captivated Ethan's heart. Their relationship blossomed and they spent countless times together, exploring their school campus hand in hand while sharing their dreams and deepest secrets. Ethan was Ashley's rock, supporting her through thick and thin. Ashley was Ethan's muse, inspiring him to pursue his passions. After graduation, Ethan landed a job at a prestigious law firm while Ashley pursued a career in graphic design. They worked hard but always made time for each other. Their friends and family admired their relationship, and they were often referred to as a perfect couple. 5 years into their relationship, Ethan planned a surprise proposal. He took Ashley to the same snack spot where they shared their first date. He got down on one knee and asked her to be his wife. Ashley was overwhelmed with emotion as she said yes. Their wedding was a beautiful and grand affair. They exchanged vows in a picturesque garden surrounded by close friends and family. Ashley felt like the luckiest woman alive, having found her soulmate in Ethan. But a year in their marriage, Ashley began to notice subtle changes in Ethan's behavior. He had always been affectionate, but recently he had become distant. Their intimate moments had dwindled, and he was often preoccupied or absent even when he was physically present. Ashley attributed it to the stress of work, but something inside her told her that it was more than that. She tried to push the thoughts aside, telling herself that things would get better, but the nagging feeling in her wouldn't go away. One evening, while cleaning out their closet, Ashley stumbled upon a stack of letters and photographs. She was curious as she opened the first envelope. Inside the envelope, she found a letter from a woman named Clara claiming that Ethan was the father of her child. Ashley's heart raced as she flipped through the other letters. There were more, each one from a different woman, each claiming that Ethan had fathered their children. Her stomach twisted as she read through the letters. Ethan had been cheating on her, and she had no idea. The women in the letter wasn't a one-time mistake. They had all been in contact with Ethan during their marriage. She felt like her world had been turned upside down, and the trust she had in him was shattered in an instant. Desperate, Ashley dug deeper. She went through their old phone bills, searched through Ethan's emails, and even checked his social media accounts. What she found confirmed her worst fears. Ethan had not only been having affairs, but he had also been living a double life. There are another set of women claiming Ethan was the father of their children. He had callously denied paternity, claiming that each encounter had been a one-time mistake. Some of these women were threatening to take him to court, while others begged him to undergo DNA testing to confirm he's the father or their babies. Ashley was devastated. She felt betrayed on a level she never thought possible. But the worst part was still to come. As Ashley continued to uncover the hidden truth, she found something that sent her reeling. Ethan had been using drugs to lower his sperm count. He had been taking medication to ensure that he couldn't get her pregnant. Ashley's mind was stunned as she tried to process the shocking revelations. But what bothered her most was how Ethan had managed to deceive her and the medical professionals they had consulted. They had undergone numerous infertility tests at the hospital, and yet nothing had seemed out of the ordinary with Ethan. It was infuriating to think that Ethan had been the one to comfort her when the test results showed no issues with either of them. He had reassured her that they were both fine, and that they would have their own children soon. But all along he had been secretly taking medication to lower his sperm count, ensuring that she would never get pregnant. Ashley felt a surge of anger and betrayal wash over her, and wondered, how could Ethan have been so deceitful? How could he have pretended to be concerned about our infertility issues when he was the one manipulating the situation all along? And to make the matter worse, he was carrying on his extra affairs and fathering children with other women. Why did he want to ruin me? What's my offense? In the days that followed, Ashley found more shocking revelations. Ethan had been struggling financially, despite his well-paying job at the law firm. The child support payments for the children he had fathered were draining his income. But instead of taking responsibility, he had resorted to selling Ashley's 24-karat gold jewelry and taking out loans in her name to cover his debts. Ashley couldn't believe what she was learning. The men she had trusted with her life had been lying to her, manipulating her, and using her. She felt sick to her core, but she knew she had to confront him. Ashley was heartbroken, devastated, and lost. She confronted Ethan with the evidence and demanded for the truth. "Ethan," she began, her voice shaking with anger and disbelief, "I know everything. The letters, the photos, the children, the drugs. All of it. You've been lying to me this whole time." Ethan realized his secret had been exposed. His face turned pale. He opened his mouth to speak, but Ashley cut him off. "And the drugs. You've been using drugs to make sure I couldn't have kids with you. How could you?" she said with her voice trembling. "How could you be deceiving me like this? What have I ever done to you to made you did this to me?" Ethan started apologizing. "It was a mistake, Ashley. I don't know what came over me. It was the devil's work, I swear." Ashley sat on the couch, her face buried in her hands as tears streamed down her cheeks. Ethan knelt before her, his own eyes red and swollen. He had been pleading for hours, his voice cracking under the weight of his guilt. "I swear, Ashley," he said, clutching her hands. "It was the devil's work. I wasn't myself. I lost control, but I'll fix this." Ashley's gaze looked at him, searching for any sign of sincerity. She thought about all the times he had reassured her that they would have children soon, all the times he had held her hand and told her everything would be okay. At first Ashley was overwhelmed with the idea of leaving Ethan, but after everything they had been through, it was terrifying for her to have such thought. What would people say? Her friends, who were already on their third or fourth children, had always hyped her up, calling her lucky to have the best husband in the world. How could she leave such a marriage and face ridicule in society? "If I should stay, won't the pressure to keep up in this marriage ruin me?" In the end, after much inner turmoil and confusion, Ashley took a deep breath and reluctantly nodded her head and accepted his apology. "Okay," she said with a shattered heart, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'll try to forgive you. But you have to promise me that you'll never use those drugs again. And you have to be honest with me from now on. Thank you." "Thank you," Ethan said as his face lit up with relief, and he eagerly agreed to her terms. "I promise, Ashley. I'll do anything to make it right." He reached out and took her hands. Ashley's eyes filled with tears as she looked at Ethan and thought, maybe, just maybe, if they are willing to put in the work, they could save and rebuild their marriage. She handed him a small box containing a gold necklace. "Sell this," she said. "Use the money to pay some of your debt, and don't bother to pay back the loan you had taken in my name. I will take care of it." Ethan's hands trembled as he took the small box from Ashley. The weight of her sacrifice and trust hit him like a tidal wave. He opened it and stared at the gold necklace. Tears filled his eyes as he nodded his head shamelessly. "I don't deserve this, Ashley," he whispered, his voice cracking. "But I promise I won't let you down again. I'll sell it and use the money wisely. I'll work hard to make things right, for you, for us." Ashley gave a faint bittersweet smile, though her heart remained heavy. "Ethan, this is your last chance. I'm doing this because I still believe there's some good left in you. But if you ever break my trust again, I won't hesitate to walk away. Do you understand?" Ethan swallowed hard, the gravity of her words sinking in. "I understand," he said solemnly. "I'll prove to you that I will change. I swear it." For a while things seemed to settle down. Ashley kept a watchful eye on him. He stopped using low sperm count drugs and started using healthy tonics before their intimate moments, but just 5 months later, Ashley discovered another bombshell. One of Ethan's baby mamas had just given birth to another child for him, and another woman, a new lover, was 3 months pregnant. To make matters worse, Ethan had taken out yet another loan in her name. Ashley was devastated, feeling like a fool for trusting him again. Furious and heartbroken, she confronted Ethan once more, with her voice shaking with fury. "Another loan. Another child. And now this woman is pregnant too," she said, with her tone a mixture of heartbreak and rage. Ethan avoided her gaze, fumbling with excuses. "It's not what you think, Ashley. I don't." She cut him off, her voice firm despite the lump in her throat. "Don't you dare justify this. I gave you another chance, and this is how you repay me." The argument escalated, their voices echoing through the house. Ethan begged her to understand, to forgive him once again, but Ashley's patience had run dry, and her trust for him was gone. The next morning, with tears streaming down her face, Ashley filed for divorce. She promised herself she would no longer care about what her friends, family, or society would say about her. The marriage was over, and so was the part of her that tried to fix what was irreparably broken. Just when she thought she couldn't handle any more shock, Ashley discovered she was pregnant with Ethan's babies. The news felt like a cruel twist of fate, but she was determined not to let him control her life any longer. When she told him about the pregnancy, he begged her to reconsider, claiming that she couldn't leave him while carrying his children, but Ashley was resolute. She would not let his actions define her future. She had already made up her mind. Their marriage had been built on lies, and she was done. When Ashley gave birth, she had twins, a boy and a girl. Ethan tried to sue for custody of the children, but the court found in Ashley's favor given the overwhelming evidence of his irresponsibility and neglect. Ethan was ordered to pay child support every month, though he rarely kept up with his obligations. Ashley never once sought legal action to force him. Instead, she chose to live peacefully with her children. With a newfound sense of independence and peace, Ashley's life took a new turn. Her company offered her a transfer to the head office in another city, with an increase in salary, and she was thrilled and accepted the offer. She relocated with her children and started afresh in a new place. In the new city, Ashley met several suitors who expressed interest in being part of her and her children's lives. Though she was grateful for the attention, she couldn't bring herself to trust again. Her marriage to Ethan had left emotional scars that refused to heal, and the thought of opening her heart to someone new felt too terrifying. She loved her children fiercely and felt complete in their little family. She had created a life for herself and her children that was fulfilling, peaceful, and free of drama and deceit that had defined her marriage. She believed that when her children were old enough, they would look for their father, and it would be their choice whether to want him in their lives or not.